So
How does it get recorded then?
Teams and YouTube will record it.
Cool.
Don't forget.
Do you want me to record?
Yes.
Okay, because I will do that.
Here comes Gina.
Jenna's almost here.
All right.
I could have sworn Peggy was in.
I did, I just saw her.
Oh, and
You're marking.
Gina went that way.
Is this great?
I don't know.
Okay.
You have it on your phone?
Yeah.
We
Hi,
are
Gina.
here tonight.
You must be big shots. Like the big room. There we go. Okay.
Look, we have quorum.
Let's see, what do we have?
I think it's only 5 or 6.
5, 6, and you've got everybody here.
Got 1, 2, 3.
We're fine. We're good,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we only have.
but I think Peggy is in.
Peggy
the
is
library
in the other room.
Yeah.
She'll be, she has 2 minutes.
I was in a 5-hour scholarship meeting today, so I don't have a brain left in my head.
But that's a fun meeting.
It's a fun meeting, but you have to make a lot of decisions.
How much money did you give away?
About $250,000.
All right, good.
Very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. And of course, can't tell you anything, but
It'll be a good day in a few weeks.
it'll
for
be a
people.
good day.
Mhm.
Yep.
It'll be good reads.
Oh, yeah.
Here she comes.
To a platform, won't you?
Hey, Peggy.
Hello.
You know, they make me take the bee costume off at the conclusion of the event, which is really hard to do.
It was a really good event.
Oh,
was fun.
So
It
fun.
was
It
fun.
was really fun.
But it's always fun.
Yeah.
It's always a fun event.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be so well attended and
Yeah,
gosh, what spellers.
yeah.
That group that won did not miss a
Oh, I'll tell you.
single word.
This was their 4th time. I mean, they've only been defeated once that I can recall.
No, I
Yeah.
don't. Oh, yes, you're right. That one family that showed up 1 year.
One year they got beat, that was it.
Although I have it on good authority this year that Gail did not know a word that one of the other teams got.
That's right, she told me
And
that.
she had to go
yeah.
home and study it.
Oh.
Is that right? Oh,
It will not happen again.
Yeah, she's an amazing speller, she really is. Well,
I would have been out after the first round.
it's 5:15, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. And for the first time in a long time, we have the public here. The first thing- We welcome you to our meeting, and if you have anything to say, now's the time to say it.
I'd like to share with you a chart that's titled Understanding Inclusion. Will this go into the record?
If you want to state your name for us. so-
Barbara Taylor.
Okay.
Go ahead, Barbara.
It's being recorded if you want to know.
Very good. I'm a lifelong Coos County resident, 70 years. Equality is that everyone gets the same book. Diversity is that everyone gets different types of books. Equity is that everyone gets the book that is right for them. Acceptance is understanding that everyone reads different types of books. Belonging is reading any book you want without fear of being judged. And justice is fighting to make sure everyone has access to books. Just saying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would it be possible to get a copy of it, Barbara?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. We just started the meeting, and this on our agenda is time for public comments. If anyone else, go ahead, sir. And your name?
I'm Arthur Poole.
Hi,
I'm
Arthur.
a Coos Bay resident. My wife and I are supporters of the Coos Bay Library Foundation. And I support what Barbara Taylor read for the record. Just want to
Thank you.
be supportive of that effort. So.
If we have no other public comment, we're going to move on with the meeting. And first up is minutes and circulation reports. Let's take the minutes first.
I did not see any changes to the minutes.
I have a question
Sure.
under librarian's report. It's just a wording thing. In the end of the second sentence, it says Fridays year around at East Side, and I don't know what that means.
Should say Fridays are year round.
Fridays are year round. Okay.
And I was in attendance, so we need to add me to the list.
And I've got a spell check in minutes and circulations, graph, G-R-A-P-H.
Oh, and Jenny's arrived.
Hi, Jenny.
I'm sorry, where was that?
Middle of the minutes and circulation.
Yes.
G-R-A-P-H.
Oh, graph, yes.
Are there any other comments on the minutes?
I noticed that we have a draft,
We do.
and I noticed we have Bob's request to put everything on one sheet.
So I would move to accept the minutes as presented with the changes noted in this meeting.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion of the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I
Jenny
do
just
like,
gave us a thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
I do like the new circulation report. Very nicely done.
That'd be Christina.
The line graph, it's traditional, I think, that smaller values are closer to the zero, yeah. And so I think it might be a little more helpful to have the smaller numbers on the bottom axis to the left and the larger ones to the right, if that's not too difficult to do.
Oh, that makes total sense. I was reading it backwards.
Yeah, same here. I was reading it backwards, but to me, it was forward because I often get it backwards.
Yeah, I was thinking these last dots over here on the right were 2023, but they're actually the ones on the left.
Well, I think the one thing that I would add to that chart, and maybe just put it next to the circulation summary, the total items checked out with the blue box, and then I guess it's sort of a tan box for checked out anywhere, to put in the current month number. The chart sort of gets you an approximation, but it would be nice to have that current month number to go along with it.
Funny, when you printed yours, it came out those colors, mine are blue.
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, my printer is notoriously pretty arbitrary about how it interprets colors.
I noticed, but, I mean, this graph was helpful to me just at a glance, because one of the things that popped out for me is that it looks to be that most of the items checked out are checked out for this library.
Yes, yes. The one thing that, that I had on the draft, document that I presented last time, was receipts from patrons and days open, and we didn't include those. I know receipts from, patrons are definitely in the financial report.
Right, that's why we
Yeah, and so that's fine.
didn't include them.
But I was curious about, why we left off the number of days open.
We had this discussion, actually.
Yeah,
Because they don't vary much, just. a
they
week or
don't,
two.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
we flipped a coin as to whether you wanted it there or not. and
Yeah,
put it
is
back
it
in.
really meaningful information if it doesn't change?
That's kind of
Yeah.
where we went with it.
that's fine. I just was curious about it. And then, I also noticed, that we didn't, you report on overdrive in your librarian's report, but wouldn't that also be something that would go on?
Overdrive, we can't figure until the end of the year because it's countywide. And so
Oh,
we have to
okay,
do a
okay.
calculation at the end of the
Yeah.
year. So we only put hoopla
Okay.
in our, because we know that number for sure each month.
But yeah, otherwise, this is great. Thank you, Christina, for doing that.
Total items checked out. Anywhere, that means any,
Any of Coos Bay items that are checked out, any of the two, anywhere in the two
in the
counties,
county?
that's the grand total.
Okay.
Mhm. So that's why it's slightly above
Right.
what's checked out here, but not massively above.
Although it was at one time.
It was, yeah.
19 and 20, it was higher than what it is now.
Well, that's when people were coming directly to pick up their books. We weren't open.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
pre that, but
it was, there was some change in the way we
do things, so yeah. I like that we still have over 100 new cards being issued every month. I
Yeah,
think that's awesome.
the number of,
Libraries are important.
the number of users of the library with the library cards is very, very impressive. We'll talk about that when we get down further in the reports. Anything else on circulation summary that we would like to talk about today?
I just want to ask, is there any way to get a unique gate count? In other words, unique number of people through the gate?
Not a gate count, but I'm working on getting a unique number of patrons who check out a month
Okay.
here.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably as close as I can.
Because they
narrow
use
it
their
down.
card.
Right,
Okay.
because I wouldn't have any way of knowing.
Right.
But I'm working on narrowing that down to where we'll know how many unique patrons we have a month.
Okay.
But kind of to her point, I know I've come in here to get information, but I didn't check anything out,
Right.
you know, but it was a visit to the library.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
So it's
I don't know how you track it though.
Yeah.
If it was just-
There was a question to me by someone that looks at this gate count number and says, yeah, but how many of those are repeat visitors? And it's like, well, we can't tell you that.
No,
Necessary.
but each time there's a visit, that requires us staff usually to do something, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's that other issue of the people that come in that don't ask the staff for anything, you know.
True.
All right, if there's no other comments or questions about circulation, Rob?
After the days, what is it that the average?
Oh, well, when we look at the month, I mean, it's just usually it's whatever day is Sunday. And then some months, depending on
When the Sundays fall.
when the Sundays fall, changes the number, but it usually is
I
only
just
about one or
find it
two.
interesting because if you're open, say 20 days, I like to compare it to the number of programs. Just shows
Yeah,
that.
and we can put it back in there. We just, like I said, took the gamble on whether or not that was something, but that's easy enough to put back in there.
All right, moving on. Next is the treasurer's report.
I did have a couple of questions, and I know this is
Sure.
usually your area, Peggy, but, on page 7, why did we budget so low for interest income?
That is finance.
Yes.
Because I think,
It was the auditor.
it was the auditor made some changes to the way they report, and so it will level out at the end of the year.
Okay.
But
Feel
there's
like,
14 emails that all have very accounting-ese in them, which I would gladly.
Oh, no, I work with the same
Right, yeah,
finance
so you-
department, so.
I'm trusting the auditors and the accountants on that one.
Mm.
So that's one I have no control over.
Okay, and then I have one other question on page 11, that our power bill is really high.
Yeah.
And is there a plan for the new library to have solar panels on the roof?
It depends, that's been talked about.
Depends on the location,
Right.
because the location at top of the park
Was-
is really,
Too dim, too many trees.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done it, it all depends, but it's always in the mix as a possibility.
An energy efficient building
Yes.
is definitely part of the plan.
Yes,
And
yes.
whatever tools.
For instance, they won't
They
have
can-
cracks under the door over there that air conditioned for us.
Yes.
So I think that it depends a lot on the site, and then I think that we will take advantage of everything that we can do in a cost-effective way.
But yeah, this cold is,
Oh, and this, I mean, I'm ready for winter to be over with.
yes, and our doors don't work real great, so they'll stay open longer than they should, and I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
endless cycle of fun.
Who was the $900 grant from?
Coos County Cultural Coalition.
Oh,
It will
okay.
be used for a art camp for teenagers towards, winter time.
Okay,
Well, which may be over, but
So in the next
Official
fiscal
winter.
year.
yes, it'll be in November, December time.
and what was the Salem training about in March? You sent 3 staff to it.
You'll go to a conference?
Oh, it's conference right now, OLA, which
Oh,
we prepaid.
oh, this
Yeah.
is prepaid,
Yeah,
okay,
I was like,
gotcha.
Yeah, 3 people are over in Bend right now, presenting at the Oregon Library Association.
Oh,
So
great, that's great.
one of our children's librarian and 2 of our other. folks.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
On page 8, about halfway down, on grants, the budget was 8,000 and we're at 33,000. Yes, why?
The $8,000 was put in as a placeholder number.
Okay.
Because we didn't know what possibly, because they pop up kind of thing. And so we ended up earning more than
Okay,
we anticipated at the beginning of the year. They did do a supplemental budget at council to be able to accept those funds and be able to spend them.
okay. And I know you've explained this to me before, but I guess I'm a little dense. The very last item under expenditures, gifts, donations, and memorials. There was a budget of 1,000, and that corresponds to some extent
Yes.
to an income or a revenue spot.
Correct, on page 7.
On page 7. Please explain again.
Same thing, placeholder numbers, because that's sort of one of those fluid number, we don't know who might donate and that type of thing.
Okay,
And I think we made this budget before the Friends also had made a decision on how much they wanted to donate, so that's why we ended up with more money than we thought that might come in.
okay.
Most of that is Friends money, and then we've been given some memorials and things like that that we never know when might show up.
So why does it show up in both income and expenditure?
Because you have to be able to take it in and spend it.
Yeah, is it dedicated to a certain spend, or can you spend it on anything?
It depends on the donation.
Okay.
Some come with stipulations, some do not.
All right, any other comments on the financial report?
where are you with the vehicle?
What's that?
Where are you with the vehicle?
Oh, well, we have the one. a travel vehicle. As far as being able to find a van to replace our larger vehicle, we're still looking, or I shouldn't say we're still looking, our contractor is still looking for us. And
It's still a supply chain issue? Yeah.
yes, so.
I mean, a year ago it was a year out and now we're still a
Yeah.
year out, right?
So fingers crossed that Rhonda will keep moving. Well, she's more and more rickety each day.
Any other comments or questions on the treasurer's report?
We need to vote to approve the financials.
Well, first, we're gonna take a look at the memorial funds, and then we'll do it all on one vote. So we can shift to page,
20.
yeah, somewhere.
20.
Thank you. Turn to page 20, which is the memorial funds checking account report. See, we had some income this last month. That was nice.
And some outlay.
Yes.
What's going on with the refrigerator?
It has broken down. They are working the people we partner with on it are locating a new one for us, and so.
And remind me who paid for that originally?
It was a combined effort between Advanced Health, Beat, and I think Food Share also helped.
So we don't have any of our own money in the
Not in
purchase
the
of it?
refrigerator, no.
Okay.
And so we've just been able to do produce that doesn't really require refrigeration right now,
Yeah, right.
so.
And so are they looking to replace the whole thing, or?
Yes, because the compressor isn't out.
Fans.
Oh, the fans went out.
Fans,
Wow,
Cost
okay.
more to fix it than.
than.
Yeah, so we're looking at a new one and getting that in.
Move it closer to that door.
Yes, you're right. You can just move it outside right now. We'll be fine.
My only question on this financial report is I see a disbursement with Rotary, and then I see that they still owe us. And
Yes.
so I wasn't quite sure.
They've been invoiced for it, so.
Okay,
Yep, the first grade program we do with them every year is next week, Wednesday. And so all the first graders this year they're getting 2 books each. And then having a story read to them at the event, and then the teacher's gonna take those books.
I guess my confusion was that they put in $2,600 approximately, but it says they still owe $1,745.
Yeah, we had that's the various work orders.
Just rolling over, okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments about the memorial fund? All right, now I'll entertain a motion to approve the financials.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion of the motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Do we have any correspondence, Sammy?
No, not that I'm aware of.
All right, you're up. Librarians report.
So I put down, there was a request on how many of the zip code registered cardholders we have. So as you can see, we have about, out of the 55, almost 56,000 registered cardholders, that includes both counties. We have about 25% of those patrons listing as a 97420 and Allegheny 97407 zip code, which covers our service area. So
it's actually 28,000 people in the service area?
yes, that's our service area because we service Charleston, all of Coos Bay School District, which also includes Allegheny too, so.
Yeah, and the areas that are outside the urban growth boundary, but are still immediately adjacent.
Well, anything in the Coos Bay School
Yeah.
District, which is a pretty large.
Yeah,
That includes like Bunker Hill and Charleston and all that.
yeah, I think the more remarkable number was that within our service area, that 49% of the people have a registered card.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was actually a fun little trail to go down and see. There's 44 registered in Allegheny.
Yeah. I was like, are there 44 people in Allegheny?
Apparently, 44 would like it.
Do we know when the next job fair is gonna be?
He's planning one for roughly the beginning of summer.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah,
It was well attended.
it was very well done.
Yeah, I know, I was here in another meeting and the place was packed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was packed with people coming through. It's cool somebody got hired.
Yeah, they hired one person on the spot, and I know they set up, I don't even know how many interviews, but several.
Any progress on the community engagement specialist?
That will fall under budget.
Oh, okay.
All right, anything else from our librarian today?
Not unless somebody else has a question.
No other questions or comments? We'll move on to the Friends of the Library report. Marie?
Well, our income is slowly building back up, which is kind of nice.
Yes, thank you for the donation.
The books, sale made $903.10 this last book sale. The bookstore was $745. So, and, our next book sale will be the 6th and 7th of, May. Same time, same space, all of that. And we gave the library $3,500 as our quarterly donation. So this is what all of our book sales and all of the bookstore and all of that is for. And so we're pleased that it is going up because then we can get back to the higher budget that we had, you know, a few years ago. So. I don't have anything else tonight.
Thanks, Marie. Any questions for Marie? Then we'll go to foundation report, and I'm going to first give one of our queen bees an opportunity to speak about our recent event and the success of it. You did a wonderful job, Jenna.
So
Thank
did you. Bob was our MC, and we looked at one another as the people kept pouring in and thinking, I hope the fire marshal doesn't stop by because I'm sure we were over capacity. And the desserts were delicious. We had 9 teams, which is the maximum. Every one of them, except the ones who never missed a word, got bought back in. So wonderful revenue, initial tally just under $4,000. And I think that was gross, not net.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still a pretty good result, and a good time was had by all.
Indeed.
It was a whole lot of fun.
It got pretty good coverage, I thought, in terms of Facebook and in the newspaper and the weekly city report, and so that really makes a difference, reaching different audiences.
It was also on the KCBY TV the night before.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you to anybody here at the table who helped out with that. It was really, I know Sammy and Christina also had their hands on in getting this prepared, so it was a great project. Thank you.
I just didn't have to spell, so it was great.
That's my preference as well.
Jen and I will gladly dress up as bees.
Yeah, don't make me spell.
Okay, anything else, questions about the foundation? All right, moving on to old business. Sammy, I'll let you take charge here.
Yeah, we just, back to what was being asked about our community engagement. To hedge our bets so we don't miss out, I did have finance move some more money into contractual to make sure we can cover those expenses until hopefully some other revenue source comes in. So what I'll send to you all, they're putting the finishing touches on the budget. I'll send you the newest version, probably tomorrow. And that'll be the change that's there. It's just a little more contractual to make sure we can cover those expenses.
And what is North Bend doing, do you know?
They're doing the same
Same
thing.
thing.
Yeah, we both of us are very committed to making sure.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We have actually, at the visitor center, have referred some folks who come into the visitor center wanting that kind of assistance to come here.
Yep, excellent. So the budget changed just slightly from what we looked at before, but nothing dramatic.
And we haven't voted on it yet, have we?
You did on the draft last time. So.
So will we vote on the final document?
I believe the vote was with, yeah, it's in the minutes.
I didn't remember seeing.
Budget hearings.
Janice made a motion to approve the draft. That's all we said.
We can do it again in May. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that was gonna be my
Yeah.
suggestion, that we revisit the final budget in May and put our stamp on
It
it.
might change.
Wait, when are the budget
Except
hearings?
it's after the.
Oh, it's at the, oh, you're right.
Budget
It's
meeting,
early
the
then.
5th or 4th.
Okay, I'll send it out to you all tomorrow,
Thank you.
and then
We can do it in an email vote.
Yeah.
I can decide if we need
Yeah,
to meet.
I'll set up an email vote on it. Terrific. Okay. Do we have any other old business? Okay, how about new business?
Budget hearings.
Budget hearings.
I was actually gonna look that up. But, Rob, do you know the date off the top of your head?
May 4th.
May 4th? Star Wars Day? We're bringing lightsabers, right? Okay, there you
Anybody else at the table have any business they want to raise? Well, we've sailed through this meeting in record.
I feel bad about our audience.
I forgot to ask something I wanted to about, music discards. Was it on page, 4?
Page what, I'm sorry?
4?
4.
What, I think it says adult music.
Yeah, 491.
What is that?
go. CDs.
CDs,
Mhm.
okay.
Are they gonna be replaced?
There's sort of. We, a lot of those were damaged and, just haven't checked out in a long time. So we do buy new music.
Do you take donations? I could replace about 100 of them.
Sure.
No, that's trying not to move them, is that what you're saying?
No, I found them in the back.
Oh, perfect. Bring a lot over.
And on page 24, I like that graph, but you notice that trend continues to go up with, internet users.
Well, the wireless user?
Yeah.
Yeah, that continues to go up, definitely.
That's a good way to show it too.
It
It
is.
keeps us month to month and we can see the progression. That's another thing we refer people to, the library to come and use the Wi-Fi, because they always want to use our Wi-Fi at the visitor center and we don't have any, not public internet.
Luckily, we're only a couple blocks away.
Yes, right now.
All right, if there's no other new business, we'll move on to announcements, and I will lead off by saying that, unfortunately to most of us, but probably something that he's pretty excited about. This is Rob's last meeting with us as he's getting ready for his departure. We really want to thank you for your service, Rob.
Well, I appreciate that, Bob, and I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I really enjoyed this. This is one of my most enjoyable of my counselor duties, so thank you.
You will be missed.
Absolutely.
When do you think you'll be leaving town?
We have to be out of our house May 21st, so
Oh.
unless you want to have me over for.
I have a
I
guest.
have a spare bedroom suite if you get desperate.
So yeah, we're probably leaving May 20th.
12:01.
And you have your place all lined up in Eugene.
Well, I just would like to publicly say thank you, because you've been so attentive to details, and, you know, if we forget something, you do remember it, and just super involved as a council member and I really appreciated having you on the board.
And a good, strong advocate for the library on the council, which is extremely valuable.
Agreed.
I will continue to do that.
Well, and
Probably more so since I don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
I hope whoever your replacement is, does equally as good a job as you have
I
done.
know the mayors want somebody that supports the library.
Good, that's good.
And thank you, Peggy.
Thank you.
And thank you for the story. Peggy's a little bit of a wild child. You guys can know her. She was.
I think we'll wait till we stop recording on that. Just a couple of quick announcements.
Thank you.
Wash Ashore has installed an exhibit in the kids area, jellyfish and fish. We also have some art on display from some teens who did the acrylics class. Fabulous. Very cool. Put to shame. At the end of the month on the 29th, El Dia de los Niños, we will be having a Spanish program for kids and families, which is also the same day as Family in the Park, which we'll also be at. So you'll see us everywhere in town. You can't escape us that day.
That it?
Is that it?
I do.
Speaking of Washington, go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say, and July 4th.
And July 4th, you'll be getting, that's about, not, April's not done yet.
Okay.
Speaking of Washed Ashore, who does such amazing artwork from plastic junk, it's pretty incredible. I read an article today. Does anybody have any idea how large the Great Pacific dump is?
Oh, you mean the one
The
that's
garbage
been
patch?
destroyed?
Yeah, the garbage patch, yeah.
I'm afraid to ask.
It's an astounding number.
Mhm.
624,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean.
There's a junk dump.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just was astounded when I read that.
It talks about their own ecosystem now and all the
Yeah.
little things that are growing there.
Yeah, there's 20 different species that normally are only found on the coast that are now living out in the middle of the ocean on this thing. It's pretty astounding.
Wow.
I would like to tell you about something that I did this month.
Sure.
And am going to try and encourage a lot of other people who do it too, to do it as well. I have a Facebook page that's mine, and I added a separate page to it called Ida Joe at the Library.
Oh,
And I got the idea from Stephanie Krause-Kilmer, who the day after the library development thing was at City Council, the very next day, she posted everything on her Facebook page. All of the plans, all of the budgets that they looked at. And I thought, what a neat idea. And she got several comments. And I read through those replies. And I thought, okay, I want to do something similar. So I just created a whole new page. I did not make it public. I invited people to be part of it, and most of the people that I invited are Coos Bay people, obviously, for lots of reasons. But there are other libraries that are picking, because people scroll and search, and there are other libraries across the country that are picking up on that Facebook page. And so Champaign, Illinois Library, for example, and their activities are there. And then I do get some comments from some people. There's a lot of junk that shows up too, but that's, I try to delete it. I try to look at it every day and delete the things that aren't apropos. But it got me to thinking that we don't know at this point where the new location's going to be. We don't know when the bond measure is going to go on the ballot. We don't know, but that shouldn't stop us from individually talking it up, I guess, and putting it out there on public media or public social media, to keep the community apprised of our position, which is in favor. We don't have to say which site or whatever, just to keep it all out there. And so I'm kind of urging you to do that if you are a social media person, to maybe once a week or every so often just put something out there that, or talking to friends or having a little get together at your house or something to say, you know, this library still is important and we need to spread the tentacles of person to person contact to get it really talked up so that when the bond measure does go on the ballot, we have just really put it out there,
So
individually.
So you have two Facebook pages, one of them under your personal name and then one of them is Ida Joe at the library.
Yes,
And so if I searched for Ida Joe at the library, that page would come up.
you would
Okay.
find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great idea.
And if you want to send me a friend request, I'll
Yeah,
actually.
there you go, yeah. Well, and I've created a number of different Facebook pages, so I like the idea, yeah, I may be doing that myself.
I'm willing to, you know, there's not proprietary, every one of us could have a so-and-so at the library, you know, so.
Well, I'm one of the managers of the foundation's Facebook page, so Sammy and I are usually the ones that are putting up stuff on that, so.
So we could even just share what you guys are putting out there. right?
Yes, absolutely.
If nothing else.
Okay, is there any other business, anything for the good of the order before we adjourn?
I want to say something that I feel kind of sheepish about bringing up, but a friend of mine at a state library, the school library, Jen Maurer, just sent me an email yesterday and she asked, do you remember what was happening 8 years ago today? And 8 years ago, yesterday, I think it was, I was the recipient of the Distinguished Library Award from OLA. So it's kind of fun to remember that. Thank you.
That's cool.
All right, anything else? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
We love our library, that's why we're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
We
That's so
gathered,
funny. It was
we
like,
gathered that you were fans. Thank you.
we never have people